Welcome back, and it's the 5 a day for the 5th, no it's not the 5th, it's the 3rd of March, and this is the further maths questions. Right, first question, calculate the distance between. So this is just a Pythagoras question, isn't it? So even though my diagram is going to be completely rubbish, it doesn't matter. That's minus 10, 2, and this one here is 35, 17. Actually, I say it's rubbish. On this occasion, that could be to scale, couldn't it? Who knows? And I want this distance that goes from here to here. So I know this length here is 45 because that's the difference between minus 10 and 35. And I know this difference here is 15 because that's the difference between 2 and 17. So therefore the distance between the 2 points is going to be 45 squared plus 15 squared, which is going to be, calculator out, so 45 squared plus 15 squared is equal to, well, my calculator tells me 15 root 10. Which is probably going to be fine, but let's actually give a value here. So that's 47.4 units, or whatever it might be measuring. First question done. Actually, let's write 1 dp, just so I'm explaining my accuracy. Next question. Work out the value. Oh, this is a weird one. Okay, I don't know whether this is supposed to be a calculator question, or you're supposed to, I don't know where this is going. Let's just do it and let's kind of see what happens. I'm wondering whether it's going to just work. This could be a non-calculator paper if these numbers are easy. So let's try. So this is equal to 515 because 5.15 times 100. So if I've got 500, bit of old school math. So 515 minus 172 is equal to 3. 51 minus 17 is 3. 30. 343, that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay, good. Right, I think I might be able to guess what the next one is. And then 515 plus 214 is equal to 927. Oh, okay, right. Hopefully you've spotted why I've suddenly changed my tone. We know those are both cube numbers. So actually that's just a cube root of 343, which is 7, cube root of 729, which is 9. The answer is just 7 over 9. That could be a non-calculator question. Had I done this question before, I would have said, do this non-calculator, but now you see me do it, it makes a bit more sense. Okay, next question. Y equals 3x to the power 4 minus this. Now, as I've said in other videos, you don't know yet how to deal with division. So you're going to write it as 2x to the minus 3. Then you're going to differentiate. We're going to do dy dx in between. So dy dx is equal to 12x cubed minus plus 6x to the minus 4, and then differentiate again. That's going to give me 36x squared minus 24x to the minus 5. Yeah, happy with that. Good. Next question. Okay, so the next question says here are two transformations. A rotation of 180 degrees, a reflection of line y equals x. Work out a single matrix which represents a combination of the transformations A followed by B. Right, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to think about what happens to 1, 0, so 1, 0, and to 0, 1, which is 0, 1. So under the first transformation, a rotation of 180 degrees, because it doesn't matter which way it goes, well, that's going to go down to here, and this is going to go down to here. So in other words, I'm not making my diagram very clear, am I? But in other words, that's going to go over to here, and this is going to go over to here. Right, if I then start with that one, so I'm now going to start with my new matrix, whereby this is, I've done it wrong, that's there, and this is down here. So now I'm going to reflect it in the line y equals x. So the line y equals x does this. So if I reflect the red line, well, it's going to go on top of the green line, isn't it? That's a little bit annoying. So therefore the red line's going to go there and the green line's going to go there. Now, hopefully you followed what I did there, but the point is, I know the new, if I call this B, so B originally A and B were like this. So originally A and B were 1, 0, 0, 1. And the new versions of A and B, which we're going to call A prime and B prime, there we go. So now the new version of B is here, and that's going to be minus 1, 0. And the new version of A is here, and again, hopefully you followed what I did when I was moving them around, which means that is 0, what is that, 0 minus 1. and that is going to be my answer. So in other words, I've got 0 minus 1 minus 1, 0. Now you could do it a slightly different way. You could basically do that, the steps in between, where you make up the matrices in between, multiply the matrices together. But as long as you're kind of okay with that method, which is moving the 1, 0, 0, 1 around, I think that's an easier way of doing it. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you do it in the comments. Either way, question's done. Nice. That last question was definitely a bit more difficult, sort of tested your understanding, but either good mix of questions. As ever, do let me know how you did, and I'll see you for tomorrow's questions. Thanks all.